What's good, Gaming Nation? You know this be John the Gamer64, the one and only, and yours truly. And I welcome you to a very special unboxing video. So I picked up this pretty cool retro gamer inspired product off AliExpress. Only paid a mere 40 bucks for this one. So let's go ahead and see what it is. There we go. Easy peasy. Alright. There we go. We've got a set of directions for this product. Nice. Okay. And I bring to you the world's tiniest original Game Boy. So move over, Game Boy Advance Micro. There's a new micro console in town. Of course, this doesn't play Game Boy Advance, obviously, but so this product actually plays Game Boy, original Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and even NES. I was like, what? So it does have a color display too, so it's pretty dope and mope. But yeah, let's take a closer look at the console itself. Yeah, so it has a little screen filter thing, or whatever it's called, the little plastic sheet. But I don't want to remove it because always had bad experiences with that. I'm like, oh, I don't want my screen to get scratched up. So I don't even know if they made like a screen protector for this anyway. So we'll just keep that on for now. But yeah, definitely a nice mimicry of the original Game Boy DMG. That's kind of cool. You see they put the stickers. So one for B button, A button, select and start. And we've got little speaker slits here. Okay. Now let's get a feel for the buttons here. Oh, very clicky. Oh, directional pad's clicky as well. Interesting. As are the start and select buttons. Of course, I think the original ones were gummy, like rubber style buttons. But yeah. Just look how tiny that display is, man. It's crazy. Yeah, that is one tiny display. Holy crap. Well, yeah, it's funny because you remember those tiny arcades, the ones made by Super Impulse, which were like those little tiny arcade cabinets? Yeah, those were probably like second biggest of this. So, very interesting. Oh, cool. Then you got a little cartridge on the back. It says game. But it's funny, if you ever bought like a reproduction Game Boy game from China or any of those other, China shopping sites, like some of the cartridges, like the top part of the Game Boy ones say game. I mean, some sellers will go the extra mile and make it look like the original that says Nintendo Game Boy. Others will just have game across it. I'm like, yeah, that was very subtle. Okay, so we can remove it. Very cool. Comes with the SD card. Hold all the ROMs. Okay, let's see. Remove it. Oh, comes off nicely here. Has some like sticky adhesive to keep the SD card in place. Interesting. Only 1 gig. Really? That's crazy. Because the Game Boy Color games, and the NES games aren't that big. That is interesting. Okay. Put it back in here. Okay, very nice. Stick it back in. Okay. Ah, yes, and the ports for the USB Type C. So got a rechargeable battery. Very cool. And then got the power switch here. Okay. Very nice. So it's kind of cool. They did have like other colors, but this was like the cheapest one. Um, so I think they even had like a couple transparent ones, like a transparent black. I think they had like the solid colors like yellow, red, etc. What have you. But yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and power on, baby. Oh crap, it's so blurry. All right, let's do that again. All right, that's more like it. Okay, so got Game Boy. Ooh, Snake. Retroid. Not Metroid, we got Retroid, okay. Huh. Guess we're seeing some original games? Okay. Now you press start. Guess that's how you switch to different consoles. Okay. And then we got the Game Boy Color section. Okay, much better. Okay. So it's Game Boy Tyrion 2000. What the hell? Is there actually a port of that? Because I remember that being like a MS-DOS like shoot 'em up. That is crazy. Okay. Okay, and see, it has NES games as well. It's crazy. None of these games I ever heard, but okay, okay. All right, well, guess we can get into the games here. Let's see, Dangan. Okay, interesting. It's like got some homebrew action going on here. Ooh, shooter. Ooh, nice. Oh, bullet hell! What the hell? Whoa, no wait, that's insane. Oh, yeah, I definitely don't remember this game in the Game Boy library. Oh, damn. Whoever made this game's like, oh, we need a bullet hell for sure. Whoa, my god. Oh my god. That is challenging. But fun. Oh my god. Ah, swarmed. Well, this one's fun. You know, I do enjoy myself a nice little bullet hell. But it might be a little hard to play with this clicky little directional pad here. Oh, 12,579. Nice. Okay. Oh, so if you hit select and start, it brings up a menu. So save, load game, reset. Okay, cool. Alright, next game. Into the Blue. A Celestial Game by Jonas Fishbach. Music. It's gonna be a puzzle affair. I figured it was gonna be a puzzle game. I think a match 3 maybe. Nice. Okay, this one's fun. Almost like Tetris Attack. And it's cool. It uses like all the symbols from Super Mario, the moon and stars and all that. Interesting. I think that's Kirby, right? Looks like Kirby. Okay. Alright, that's a cool one. Pretty cool for original games here. Retroid. Okay. Written in 2006 by Jonas Fishbach. So what kind of game we're looking at here? Oh, like Arachnoid, I get it. But Retroid. Well, isn't there like a emulator device called the Retroid Pocket, if I'm not mistaken? Well, now you have a game called Retroid. That's funny. Okay, nice. Cool little version of Breakout. Oh wait, wasn't there one called like Alleyway in the original Game Boy library? Well, still cool nonetheless. Next game. Snake. Classic Snake. Okay, let's go to another console here. Game Boy Color. But the Tyrion one I definitely have to check out. Because I remember playing a demo. Well, I don't know if it was a demo or a full game of it, but yeah, it was on freaking DOS on PC. I don't remember there being a port on Game Boy Color. Full game or arcade? Ooh. Oh, dang. Murdered. But the screen is definitely nice and crisp. I mean, it's just so freaking tiny. I mean, on the screen here, it's like magnified or, zoomed in. So that's why you can see it, it's like a bigger display. But playing it in person, like, goddamn, dude, you're gonna need like a magnifying glass. Jeez Louise. But yeah, it has a nice, clean display here. Alright, I think we can do another game. Or we can check out the menu, or like the, what is it? The instructions here to see what we can mess with here. Also, we can do colors here. So select a B. Wait, hold on. So it's supposed to change the color of something. So select. Okay, right. Okay, hold on. Hold on. No, no, no. Exit, please. Thank you. Okay, so figure out the brightness setting here. Interesting. Okay. So it's already at its highest capacity here. Interesting. Okay, okay. Check out what are those. Okay, so you can actually change the color of the LED here. So if you press Start Select, turn it blue. Nice. That is neat. Like that little feature. But I stick with the OG with the red. Alright, let's check out one of these homebrew NES games. Not gonna do them all, of course, but see, Lunar Limit. That sounds interesting. No, 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 no. There's no limit. Whoa, hold on. It's like, was it Asteroid and Sinistar here? Hold on. Not ready. Not ready. Was that ready? Hold on. Okay. Trying to get a good view here. There you go. Give you a second round here. And to like turn down the brightness to actually get a better look here. Okay, well that's that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and add some ROMs to the SD card because that's the main reason I got it. So some homebrew games are pretty cool, but yeah, we all know we all know we want one of these just to play Pokemon or Super Mario Land or something like that. So gonna go ahead and add them real quick, and I'll be back shortly. Alrighty, folks. So gonna just show you what the files on the SD card look like. So we got the Game Boy Color, NES files, bin files, what have you. So yeah, let's go ahead and start adding some. And these three files here are from my R36S ROMs. So yeah, we're just gonna pick a couple of my faves here. OG Super Mario Land here. And then of course Super Mario Land 2. Yahtzee. Okay, what else should we put on here? Well, yeah, why not? Put some Bomberman Game Boy on here. Oh, what the fudge cake? Okay. Alright, there we go. Another one. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones up here. So yeah, that's Game Boy. Go to Game Boy Color. See what's a good Game Boy Color game we should put on here. But yeah, I'll go ahead and add the rest, and then well, yeah, we'll get back to the video. All right, so we got Super Mario Land, one of my favorite portable Super Mario games of all time. Yeah, it's so dope, man. So tiny. Yeah, boy. Yeah, I'm just a sucker for anything tiny, honestly. But a tiny Game Boy, man, freaking micro size? Hell yeah, freaking dope. Although you might like in person, you might want to like put it closer to your face, you know. But yeah, this is freaking dope. So that's Super Mario Land there. And of course, got the Pokemon. Yeah, this game would probably be more ideal on the go. Freaking cool. Well, yeah, just to show you like the text in certain games, especially from just the normal viewing stance, like it's actually readable. But depending on the font that they use for some games, I think it's a little difficult. So, but Pokemon is perfect though, unless you have a really bad eyesight, I guess. But I can actually see it just fine. But yeah, so just a little warning for you there. All right, it's just one quick Pokemon battle for y'all. Things are about to get wet. Or not. Not till I learn those. Ow. Critical hit. Nice. Alright, come on. Send them already. Alright, one more shot. One more shot. Okay, there we go. Got that out of my system. On to the next game. Alright, this is Donkey Kong Country. Game Boy Color. Pretty much faithful rendition of the Super Nintendo version. Yeah, this is dope. I mean, sure, this you can't play Super Nintendo games on here, but hey, technically you can with this. Oh, damn it. But yeah, the color display with the Game Boy Color games seems pretty crispy. Pretty nice. The colors really pop on this little tiny display here. Okay, okay. So that's Donkey Kong Country. Alright, so it's a little Mega Man Extreme 2. Oh crap. Oh, I can still slide here. Okay, there we go. Or no, dash. There we go. Hurry up. No, it's like the Contra door. X Zero, what's the situation? Mavericks said we had destroyed the fort are rampaging throughout the island. Oh, damn it. Okay. Well, thing that if I can like dash and then jump. Oh, I can mid-air dash. See? Oh, okay, okay. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. Anyways, next game. All right, and for the NES, we'll end it with Dr. Mario. Maybe one more game, and go from there. Yeah, this is one of those games where the freaking font's kind of shitty, so it's gonna be hard to tell what you're reading here. But like seriously, for this game, you'll definitely have to bring the game close to your face. Well, I just love the novelty of it. I mean, sure, it's gimmicky because it's just tiny, just like how they made the tiny Game Gears. I still want one of those. There we go. Nice. And of course, my favorite OG Super Mario games of all time, Super Mario Bros. 3. Yeah, it's so freaking neat. Yeah, the mushroom. Mushrooms, baby. What? Give me that shell, boy. Oh, wrong way. Wrong way. I don't know. I feel like the buttons, they could at least try to replicate the same type of material that they're used. Does that make sense? I don't know. It's like the buttons are too clicky, and then like the directional pad, I'm like, I don't know. For some games, it kind of works against it. I mean, with Pokemon, it's perfect because it's an RPG and you don't really have to do too much. I mean, you do have to move around, but okay. Next game. All right, and then we'll end the video with Little Manhattan Project. Very nice, very nice. The heck is that? So tiny. Okay, so that is the Game Boy Micro or Micro Game Boy. So yeah, I love the novelty of it. Just a tiny little Game Boy, like, and it's a keychain too. So I'm like, you can take it on the go. I mean, that's probably like the biggest selling point. But it does have its drawbacks, like the clicky buttons. Well, clicky directional pad. I'm like, I don't know what they were thinking with that one. It should have been just like the standard one, because the standard one was not clicky. Neither were the buttons. Well, buttons. I mean, like, it's always a hit or miss. So I mean, they're functional. That's good. But yeah, just making the directional pad kind of clicky just kind of works against it for some games that are very reliant on the D-pad. But yeah, but I do like the video clarity. Like colors pop, everything's pretty good for the most part. Although for certain games, like I said, the font, like depending on the font, it might come out shitty or it might come out good. So like Pokemon games, the font will be perfect, even for this size. Let's say like the Super Mario games, I notice. I mean, you don't really need to read the text in Super Mario games, thankfully, but you notice it. It's like the font's all bunched up because it's tiny screen, I guess. But like I said, for some games it works depending on the font type. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty cool little buy. I think probably would have been better if I bought it for 20 instead of 40, but I had to just do a video about it, and yeah, it's a decent buy for sure. So if you don't mind the clickiness of the directional pad, the buttons, the the font that may or may look good or shitty in some games, it's not too bad. Like if you can deal with that, then I'd say go for it. Give it a shot, or maybe wait till it's super cheap. But who knows? But 40 is a little steep, but not too bad. I mean, if you just want it for the novelty of carrying this around, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pull this out. But it's funny. It's like you're gonna look so weird if you have to like bring it close to your face just to just to see the game. Especially if you had bad eyesight, you're gonna look pretty funny in public. But fuck it, hey, you're having a good time, and to show people you got a little Game Boy, or the world's tiniest Game Boy here. So, but yeah, this is pretty cool little gimmicky device, and yeah. So that has been the unboxing of the Micro Game Boy from AliExpress, and thank you all for watching. Love, peace, and chicken grease.